this time for my Dhamma sharing, I decided to leave the house where we are currently staying for creating good merits, doing good deeds, and preparing the opening of the new Tabarwa Center in the area. And I'm going out for Dhamma experience, Dhamma ideas to share, because as I took it as a personal retreat, this time of several days staying in this area in Hua Hin in Thailand, where we have an opportunity to open a new Tabarwa Center for Europeans who live here on retirement. I keep mentioning this every time. Maybe I stick my mind to this idea. I use the knowledge about attachment, and I use this attachment only for the benefit, so that I create this attachment on the mind, thinking about Europeans learning Dhamma with us, learning the practice of meditation. And in this way, whatever we attach to may be realized, may happen. Moreover, when I use the attachment knowingly, mindfully, I'm talking Dhamma. Let me turn the screen, show you my happiness. I got the idea. I was like, it's the time when I set kind of a schedule for myself that every morning, sometime late after the breakfast, I will be given the Dhamma sharing during these days while staying in Thailand. But then I find it not very easy. I find it challenging. It's not difficult to talk about Dhamma, but it is difficult to talk without a request, because the practice is going on within me. But talking about it to others and not knowing to whom particularly, it's a challenge. Yeah. So I try to do only, and I decided to go for a walk, as I said, and already I touched different subjects that I can use to discuss more of Dhamma. I don't know what it would be better, to turn the screen towards the road or keep the screen towards me. I will probably change from time to time, like that. So I started saying about the power of attachment. With the practice of Dhamma, practice of meditation, we learn to abandon all attachments, to discover them, and to detach. Everything we are mindful of, and we try to be mindful from one moment to another, and everything we are mindful of is to detach, be it good or bad. It is to detach, to liberate ourselves from something. Oh, there is a small lake, nice. Let's experience only. Let's be spontaneous. And like this, I feel also that I'm not alone. I'm with a company. Although being alone also is not bad. So we learn to detach, but the beauty of the advanced practice. Look at this picture. Beautiful. Can I make a shot? I don't know to use Facebook Live. If somebody could teach me, please help me. How can I use the landscape mode? Because if I turn my phone like this, I have a message that I should bring it back to the portrait mode, that it is not supported in that way. Okay, and if I want to make a photo, I can't see the option to do this. Okay, anyway, I continue. Maybe even I will sit for a while here on this bench. Beautiful experience. About this I can also talk. So the beauty of the advanced practice is that we can use all that we learn about the mind, and we can benefit from what usually is not beneficial, we can use it knowingly, mindfully, using only, and it can be beneficial. So in this case, as I said, that I keep mentioning every time when I speak about Dhamma now, about meditation, I mention where I stay and what the purpose of the stay is. And this is to be able to render Dhamma knowledge and meditation practice to elderly people, retired people from the Western world, from European countries who find their refuge here in Thailand. So we know the quality of the mind to attach, and whatever we receive in life, of course, it is the cause and effect, and mind also shapes the conditions. Mind makes things real, because nothing is real, nothing is permanent. Everything is impermanent, and what is impermanent is not something. So saying everything is not something. It is just to say that rather than there is something which I say is not true, is not real, there is actually nothing. And the only whatever is the impermanent nature. Knowing so, we learn to detach from knowing something, because we are not detached. We grasp something and everything as real. We happen to experience fears, we happen to experience worries, and then the situations that we program our mind to, they self-realize. And not self, they realize by the attachment of the mind, because mind makes everything real. This all life exists only because of the mind, because of the ignorance of the mind. So we try to purify the mind, we learn to be free from ignorance, to have our mind free from any ideas, from any solutions. Only then, in that case, the real good ideas and solutions come on their own. Like, I feel really attached. I spot there a foreigner. There is one retired man, a foreigner. Soon I will be like a security dog, just looking at them and then running after them. Because as I learned Dhamma, I really care to bring it to others in the Western world where Dhamma is not very accessible. Due to the karma, some are born in Buddhist countries, some are born outside. Those who are born outside of Buddhist countries may never miss the opportunity to meet Buddhism, and those who encounter Buddhism sometimes never go to Buddhist countries and study it from literature and from the internet, from videos like this one, like the one that I'm creating too. And some can go, like me, and join those Buddhist countries, Buddhist communities, and then it becomes very challenging to come out of all our habits, to detach from all that we know and accept everything unfamiliar, everything strange, and even like it's not an enemy, but whatever we meet, and it is quite different and challenging for us, it feels like an enemy that we want to fight, unless we learn to accept. So once again, everywhere we try to learn to accept and to detach, but knowing that the quality of the mind is to reproduce, to make real what we attach to, we can use the power of attachment. Like in this case, maybe the more I think, the more I speak about foreigners living here, and my sincere wish to bring Dhamma and the practice of meditation as the path of Dhamma to them, the more the attachment in my mind can create this opportunity to become real, to happen. Try it in your life, but first of all you need to learn the power of detachment. Before you use the attachment in the right way, you need to learn anyway the power of detachment. This is why I said initially that this is the beauty of the advanced practice. In the advanced practice we do something naturally, not me doing, but just doing only. I look at that scenery, I'm really loving it. Like so much liking is appearing now in my mind. I try to speak about the subject, and mindfulness shows me that grasping of the view behind, and I can't but sincerely share with you this again challenge on my mind, this contamination of grasping and taking something as real, this beauty, and enjoying and craving to see more, to enjoy more. This is how it happens. This is how we should be practicing. This is how we should know the reality of every moment. In talking, I cannot practice deeply, same as in sitting meditation. Generally, talking and listening is one of the most difficult stages of using life activities with continuation of the practice of mindfulness and detachment. I try to apply mindfulness in talking, and this is the result, that while doing the mindful talking, because I'm mindful, I can also notice where my mind is drawn to. The mind is drawn to the surroundings and to the beauty, and the craving arises. Another foreigner is coming. I will show you. Yes, yes. Actually, I think it's a pity I'm staying here only a few days, because if I stayed longer, maybe I could be making such walks around and people could get familiar with me, and little by little, naturally, we might develop some acquaintance and conversations. So the practice happens naturally when we are more confident in it, when we know the happening of the Dhamma. Because when we learn the practice, we learn what to do, what not to do, how to be, how not to be. But in reality, we don't have to do anything. We have to abandon doing and being the practitioner. All we should do is just to be present. And for this we don't have to do anything, right? To be present, because we are present. As long as we are alive, as long as we breathe, we are present. Just that we miss the power of knowing of this presence. We are present, how can I put it? We are present latently, and we should be present with the presence. Presence, we should be present. We should be just present, because if we are present with effort, it is too much already. So we should be just present. We should be present sincerely. That's the way to say it. Sincerely present. Not just present because present and maybe actually flying away somewhere else in our mind, but just to be present sincerely, truly. And in general, in life, sincerity is very important, because if we want to understand the truth, we must be truthful by ourselves. We must be having truthful nature. only the truthful nature of our action, physical action, mental action, and verbal action. So verbal action and physical action should correspond to the mental action. Because if we want to discover the truth, we should set this default setting on the mind that whatever there is at the mental level, this is at the physical level. Whatever there is on the mental level, this is what it is, not something different. If we are not truthful in life, if we tend to make even small lies, to sacrifice maybe the truth, but then to benefit from some comfort in the situation, often people just use small lies to come out clean and comfortable from a situation where they don't know how to say no, or where they cannot reject something, or they're afraid to offend somebody. Then they prefer to use small lies. So we should be truthful. We should find the ways to be truthful in every situation. This is right intention, not to offend others, not to reject others. But there are also truthful ways to do that. So if we are truthful, it is like we program the mind to know the truth only, and this truth would be direct. It will not be curved, it will not be blurred by something. The truth, the path to the truth will be direct. In this way, whatever we produce with the mind truthfully will be the only way for the mind to work. So it will be directed for the truth only. It will not be then difficult for us to understand others, to understand any situation happening to us in life, because whatever is happening will be given to us direct meaning. Not that we are trying to alternate, we want to do one thing but we cannot say directly about this, then we alternate it into saying actually something different but very polite, but very different, indirect. And then we curve the ways of the truth. Then this will be the response of life to us, that whatever is happening will be going also in those curved ways. It will be difficult to understand and to have clear view on the situation and on the motives of others. So we should understand that the way that we use the mind is the way that we reproduce the life and we perceive the life. So this is another hint about the mind that we can know and understand and be confident with when we advance in our practice of mindfulness with detachment. Using the truth, using the detachment and attachment, right? And another subject I touched already and wanted to... when I came to this bench and decided to sit over here for some time, maybe I will continue walking. We could have enough of this place. I will keep walking. So when I found that bench and thought it might be beautiful to stay here for a moment to practice Dhamma, to experience Dhamma. Apparently there is some restaurant over there. Nice. I remembered my early stages of the practice when I was traveling in India, and with a few of my travel buddies we came in the mountains in Himalaya, and we decided to sit there with the beautiful view and meditate. And for meditating we close the eyes to limit the incoming information from different sense doors. One of them is eyes. So we close the eyes. And then why do we come to a beautiful spot? So my truthfulness, my nature of doing the things straightforwardly and directly and truthfully, as I just told before, they arose this hesitation in me, this questioning that seemed to me illogical. Why shall we come to a beautiful place to meditate if we close our eyes? Right? These two things, they are contrary. With time, with practice, I got my own answer to this question. Maybe you can have yours. Welcome to contemplate, welcome to comment. My answer is that when we meditate, like when we take a sitting practice, I mean, not everyday practice, but sitting practice. When we meditate, we find the calmness, the tranquility of the mind, to be peaceful, to be equanimous, and mainly the nature, but maybe also some other sport sides, help us to quiet the mind. The beauty of the nature is different from the beauty of a modern beautiful woman or some beautifully created man-made designs. The beauty of the nature is simple. We can use that beauty to already prepare our mind to be quiet, to be still, to be not rushing anywhere, to be not developing any desires. Because exactly the beauty of man-made, beautiful modern technologies, designs, maybe even architectural constructions, they are mind arousing. They arouse the desire. They arouse the creativity, continuation of the creativity and creation on the mind. This is what we seek for abandoning when we practice meditation. We seek to liberate the mind from any creation. We seek to make the mind free. So the nature offers us this helpful preliminary session of the tranquilizing beauty. This is why we like to come to a beautiful spot, get settled, and then detach, close our eyes, detach from the beauty that we found for our practice. In the same very way, when we finish our sitting practice, when we open our eyes again, we start first of all from something calm and natural. We start from the beauty of the view of the nature. Yeah, this was another Dhamma sharing that came up to my mind when I saw that bench. And what else was there that I might share? Oh, somehow an idea comes about some, let's say, mistake of meditators who are about to go to the advanced level of practice of Dhamma. This is when we learn about no I, no someone, no something. We learn that there is no one real and we should not attach to any label, to any name, to any concept of someone real. These bushes are so beautiful too that it makes me want to take my photo with them, and I don't know how to use it in parallel with the live stream, so let me just memorize myself. May it be the beauty that creates calm and tranquility of the mind and eliminates all detachments and doesn't create new attachments. May this beauty in the screen that I chose to see and to show serve for the benefit of the practice, not for enjoyment of the eyes, not for grasping the sensual desire of eyes to see more, see again, giving life to new and new sankharas, giving life to new and new birth. May we just experience only, know only, rather than knowing the beauty, let's know the scene. Let's try to feel the scene happening. Let's try to know. We may close our eyes for a moment. There is no scene, no object. When we open the eyes again, just using the eyes exactly for the practice, using only. We open again, there is again the perception door and the object. And we know now the scene. There was absence of scene that we could know. Now we know the scene. And to continue the practice, let's try to know that seeing is not something, is not permanent, is not durable. Seeing is just seeing only, not someone seeing, but even seeing in itself is just the impermanent nature of one scene happening after the other scene. This is just the faculty of this body. Disintegrating the scene into separate moments. Not anything physical, but we recognize the mental action of detaching from the durability and dissecting one moment by another. Also knowing arising, but I come back to seeing because I want to practice this beautiful scenery behind, using only for the practice, not indulging into sensual desire of seeing, but using seeing to know the impermanence. The mindfulness is changed by ignorance. Let me continue walking. There is the ignorance that arose and that made a joke on my mind that I'm like crazy. I'm just suddenly standing at the side of the road and suddenly just staring in the camera and and getting lost from the reality. No, we are not getting lost from the reality. We are discovering the reality if we invite Dhamma to take dominancy in every moment. Just yesterday I discussed with Uzin, who is staying together in the same house, and another Sayalay. So 2 nuns and a monk, and we have lay people who come and serve meals for us, and we are sharing Dhamma to them. So I was discussing with him about the instances of Dhamma that happen naturally to us when we feel a call of Dhamma to really accept the natural happening, the experience of Dhamma, the natural flow of the experience. And I will cross. And such instances, sometimes they come and they invite us. Sometimes they're very strong, and I can say they invade us. So we should then give the priority to that moment, to that practice, to come naturally, to be brave, to abandon all other activities that we have been busy with, and just give our full presence to the Dhamma experience. Because if we neglect it, if we don't prioritize it, it may slip away, and next one may happen in we don't know how much more time. In a few months, in a half a year, in a few weeks, we don't know. We don't know. But we know that if we feel the flow of Dhamma coming, we should prioritize it, we should give up everything else, and then we can have the true experience of Dhamma, given an insight, and unlocking another insight. Yeah, there is no other word. Insight, deep view, deep understanding to the sense of Dhamma. Yes. So it's not strange just to stop by the side of the road. Of course, we should make sure not to disturb others and not to put our life under threat. But if we are there for the practice of Dhamma, the life won't be under threat, because the life of the real practitioner is very precious to let this flow of evolution, to let this transformation be happening, because the life of the real practitioner is used in the right way. It is used seeing only, once again, seeing only, or remarking this arising enjoyment, desire to see again, to see more. Oh, this is so strong, the dukkha of seeing. Oh, the dukkha of enjoyment is very present. And mindfulness also is present. Mindfulness after each instance of recognizing the enjoyment. So the life of the real practitioner is precious, is valuable. First of all, it is very rare to be born as a human being. There are many more animals, there are many more mammals and sea creatures and insects. So many. You see, they all live life according to their karma. In some lives preceding their lives, they might have been humans too, and then they fell out of human life due to the ignorance of the mind, increasing ignorance and not developing the wisdom which is possible to develop during the human life. So it is quite rare and not obvious to be born as a human. So when you are born as a human and you don't waste your life, but you use it for the practice of Dhamma, and you practice generously, knowing that you practice not for oneself, but you practice for all, your life is really precious, and the Dhamma will take care of your life. So as I said, we shouldn't be afraid. We can, some garden. If somebody doesn't know, I'm like a devoted gardener. I had a big garden in my lay life. Oh, shoe kale, very, very healthy plant. My attachments, shoe kale, so tasty, so nice. Usually they have lots of white flies. No, these don't have. I don't know if they use some sprays. No, they have nothing. Or maybe this is mainly in our regions, in the West. Nothing. Like really there is a disease of these white insects. Yeah, white fly, actually we call it in French, and almost the same in Russian, I don't know in English. Wow, they have just only kale, cabbage kale, raised beds, nice, not so much soil. So life of the practitioner is precious, and Dhamma itself will take care of the health and of the situations to avoid any harm happening to the practitioner. This is why we can take any sport where Dhamma happens to us and just surrender from being someone, from doing something, and experience only. I see people having some bags of shopping and going out. My Dhamma family asked me to get something to buy for using at the house. So I'll probably do on the way back to avoid now stopping this video so that I share some more Dhamma. Like now I combine speaking Dhamma and just being that spontaneous and navigating to other topics, something that I see on the way. I think this is still right to do. I'm not wasting the time of my human life. I'm not wasting the time of somebody who would watch this video, because whatever I say, anyway, I link it to Dhamma knowledge, and this way Dhamma becomes really alive. In this way, I really show to you how we can be participating in the outside world and still being mindful and still carrying on responsibility for not indulging, not grasping oneself as I and as the experience as mine, but just continuously practicing and using our experience, using only for Dhamma. So I was starting the subject of some confusion that advancing practitioners have before they become the advanced practitioners. Although I have really to drink a bit, for this we really need to make a short stop. Hold on. We will try to drink mindfully too, holding the bottle, putting, okay. There is also Dhamma in the silence. How many changing objects could you notice in that time of silence? When I was not guiding, when I was not overtaking your attention by my speech, you could be practicing, you could be noticing only, knowing only, whatever other experience was going on without my words. So when we learn that there is no someone and that the objects are not real, then we attach to this new understanding, to this new idea, because it is so precious. Because when we know only at the intellectual level that there is no someone, we are easy with this. We just can use it for the sake of conversation, just discuss Dhamma, just to say what we know. But when we discover the inside of no self, when we get it, maybe not yet fully, because we continue making a mistake, But when we just get it a bit deeper than the words only, when we get to know that nothing is whole, nothing is complete, nothing is real, only the arising and disappearing. Sayadaw Tamasara teaches us to see it as the way of nature, ever new, impermanent nature, always changing, no self nature, due to the cause and effect. And some other teachers and more conventional texts call it, they talk about sankharas. They talk about sankharas arising and disappearing, though Sayadaw and also teachers, also sankharas are not something, so not to be mistaken, also sankharas are not something. So when someone gets to understand that there is no someone, and this sentence already in itself is a great example of what I'm going to talk further on, why I started this subject. When someone realizes that there is no someone, no something, that there is only arising and disappearing, then this insight makes them happy, makes them feel they understand the sense of the teaching, which is great, but they attach. Attachment is the natural quality of the mind. Once again, I bring this up. I speak about attachment, same as I did in the beginning of this video, but we can't escape it. We will always speak about attachment because this is the central problem of not knowing Dhamma. Attachment. And actually this is the problem of not knowing Dhamma, and also we don't know Dhamma because of attachment too. We can develop this subject too. If I don't do it later and you watch it and you are interested, remind me, make a comment, tell me to speak about that, and I will do next time if I don't do this time. So naturally the mind attaches even to what is wholesome, to the understanding of the phenomenon of Dhamma, to the understanding of no self. And what happens in that way, and why I said that the practitioner is advancing but not the advanced yet, means in progress, not stabilized, is because they still cannot recognize that the Dhamma that they start understanding and the lack of understanding, what they learn to understand, is still playing that trick on them. They learn about detachment from someone, that there is no someone, but they miss out to see that they attach to this learning. Is it a private place or public? We'd like to visit here. Let's see. Does it look to you private or public? No sign, entry is forbidden. The gate is open. Maybe I'll go in, having good intention, not having any bad intention. Doing only, trying just to use seeing, knowing about the place. I'm contemplating now. Why? Just because I'm sharing with you Dhamma. I'm sharing with you the practice. The practice acquired through years of learning and trying and making mistakes and then learning what is right, abandoning what is wrong. So with the right intention, without any harmful or grasping intention, without any greed, I welcome myself to enter, as I don't see any prohibition here. There should be somebody at the control booth, but there is no one. So as long as they ask me to leave, I will leave. I will excuse myself and leave. But I can try to use this opportunity for a nice picture. Oh, it looks like some hotel. They are having their breakfast over there. Let me show you. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we should be aware of the tricky situations of Dhamma practice. We should not attach even to the wholesomeness of learning Dhamma. Okay, here for resident only. For resident only. This path, I understand, is for resident only. Okay, I'm not the resident. There is some pond I would like to go, but I will take this bridge to go towards the reception as I see and just see around. Doing only. No harm, no greed in my mind, no any bad intention. Just using the opportunity to be in this calmness of the nature, which is beneficial for the mind. And in this way, people grasp understanding that there is no someone, and then it is very difficult to communicate to them. It is very difficult to discuss anything else. It is very difficult to continue exchanging with these intermediate, advancing students of meditation who grasp the no self, who insist that there is no self, because this new discovery for them blurs them from being able to share Dhamma or to listen and to accept Dhamma. Whatever we discuss, we have to use our human language, the language of the country we are born in, or the language that we use to communicate. We have to use. So you should not reject. Language is not true, not real. Just another man-made creation. Speech and the colloquiators, nothing and no one is real, but not to attach. Attaching like that, we are rejecting. We are rejecting everything else. And in this way, we cannot progress in our learning. So let's use Dhamma purely. Let's use the knowledge that we get, just using only, knowing only, experiencing only. Do you understand now why we say this only? Only means we'll get in there later, after we reach over there to the dead end. Only means the action which is taken, performed, not fully, with belief in the action and in the I as a doer, but action as a concept, just as an idea, as something impermanent existing during the period of necessity. And then we use this action with detachment from belief that it is real. So we just do only, use only. So when we learn and understand about no self, we know only, use only. We use it for not attaching. We use it for our own practice of being free from someone. But we don't force, we don't use it forcefully outside of our own experience. We don't misuse no self in order to cut all communications and to challenge everyone who uses the word someone. As soon as such practitioners who are new and fresh in the discovery of no self, they jump on the word of someone or something or I. They are not able to hear the sense that we render with using I or something or someone. They are not free from their attachment to eliminate every I and every something, which means actually that in their understanding of no someone, they reject the word. They understand that there is no word, someone and something and I. Although exactly the word we can let exist, what we should try to eliminate is the attachment to the meaning of that word. So don't repeat this grasping mistake. Don't reject using self. Nice resort. We should conduct meditation retreat just inside here on their lawn. Let's attach to this idea. But let's attach without attachment. Just attaching only. That's very beautiful. So don't repeat this mistake. Try to be really mindful of every mind moment, because whatever I'm rendering to you is still the information level, is still the level of hearing. You may agree, you may accept, but you should apply. If you don't apply but leave it as the information heard from me, then this knowledge will be wasted. This will be useless. So give yourself a credit of making a mistake, but recovering from it. Recovering with the right understanding always. With knowing that mistake is not made by you intentionally, that there is no someone who makes a mistake, but when you contemplate on it, you can take it personally, you can take it as I, and think where you can do better. Think, see, imagine. Look at this. Imagine like this situation again and see where I, self, can do better. Knowingly that there is no I, no self, knowing that the mistake is not yours, knowing that those are just the steps of the practice. Beautiful. Interesting. Look what we are discovering. Also, things like that. I used to reject visiting places, seeing things, because I learned about the attachment on the mind. I learned that everything that we see and enjoy is actually poison of our mind. So I started rejecting, seeing, visiting. I started imprisoning myself away from many experiences. I was an advancing practitioner, learning about qualities of the mind and trying to protect the mind from this one is really funny and cute. Look at this. But we can use only. We should. Hello. So we can allow ourselves still live this life and take the comforts of the life. Take the comforts, the beauty, if they are there, not seeking for them specifically, not being focused on being happy only if you get them, but just using them when they appear, knowingly, just same as I shared to you, practicing seeing, mainly bringing our attention inwards, being mindful of the sense doors, seeing the desire appearing, because we need to learn about the mind. Before we clear the mind of all contaminations, defilements, we need to know, to understand, to experience. So teachers are good, we need teachers. Meditation retreats are wonderful, we need that to deepen the practice together with others. But the main work is still to be done by ourselves, by I, which doesn't exist. Exactly. So, I didn't see a sign for residents only, but it seems like I'm really walking in residential areas. Feeling a bit uncomfortable, noticing this discomfort on my mind, this doubt. Seeing just impermanent appeared, impermanent nature of whatever emotions appear. Oh, so beautiful, so nice. Yeah. May we as Tabarwa members, as Dhamma practitioners, be able to come and offer meditation to people residing here in this area, so that we can also benefit for our body and mind staying in this nice place, using it for spreading Dhamma. Why not? You know that aspirations are helpful. But once again, let's get back to the beginning of this Dhamma sharing, that we can make aspirations only if we are truthful, if we are sincere on our ways. Then the aspiration that we make on the mind will work. Otherwise, it will be a mess. If the message that we send out is not clear, then the aspirations that we make, they won't be clear either. People are practicing something. Oh, Pitang! I think I would like to talk to these people because I know this game. And this game comes from Switzerland and from France, I will show you. And this is a chance for me to talk to them, and maybe then I will spread the word of Dhamma. So I finish this video here. Thank you for watching. Ask me questions or tell me about the subjects that you're interested in. It will be easier for me to talk more about Dhamma. How can I switch